Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Preppy podcast. Thank you all so much for being here. Today, I'm talking with a sister duo, actually, Anna and Lindy. They are the sisters behind George Cookware, and they both have an impressive background on their own. So Lindy is an influencer. I actually met her at one of my Print Fresh client events, and then her sister, Anna, is a professional chef. So I love chatting with them about how they balance each other perfectly with their skills and what they bring to the table, and then how they started George Cookware, sort of based on a family business and inspired by that as well. So it combines both of their natural skills and interests into making this amazing cookware brand where they have pizza stones, they have beautiful bags if you're into making sourdough, and so much more. And actually, if you are a Club Preppy member, we are doing a fun event with them later in June. So stay tuned for that. And there's always time to join Club Preppy if you're not a member already, which brings me to my point before we get into this episode, that Club Preppy is our monthly subscription service where you get a goodie in the mail from me each month. There are things like a tote bag, a bag charm. This month it's actually a beautiful chinoiserie twilly that's custom made for our club members. And you also get at least one virtual event per month. So we've done things like floral arranging, tablescaping. We're going to be doing bracelet making this month with Fancy Society, and then of course have a fun workshop with these ladies of George Cookware. As well as if you go to thepreppypodcast.com to sign up, you can also find information on our upcoming Camp Preppies, which we have one in August in the Beaver Creek, Vail, Avon area of Colorado. That one's going to be so fun, and you might remember we moved it from June to be in August, actually, just to accompany more people in their schedule. I had a lot of requests for that. So it's going to be so good. And you've seen a lot of my What's in the Box unboxing from that over on my Instagram. And then we have Kenny Bunkport in October, which both are just going to be so amazing. I can't wait to hang out with my campers, meet some new ones, see some of my old favorite ladies, and just everything in between. But all that information you can find at thepreppypodcast.com. But let's get into my conversation now with these two lovely sisters. Okay, well, why don't you first let everyone know who you both are, where you live, and what you do?
Definitely, and thanks for having us.
Yeah, thank you.
We're Lindy and Anna. We're sisters based in New York City, and we founded George Cookware in October 2025. We were working on it for about a year and just always had the dream of doing a brand together. Our dad is an entrepreneur and really instilled that in us growing up, and we just always felt like it would be possible. So we're really excited to continue expanding. We have a collection of cookware right now that's primarily for pizza making and bread making. So yeah, we're really excited about the brand and everything that's to come.
Excellent. Well, I am so thrilled to have you both here and learn more about George Cookware. And both of you, we were chatting offline that actually Kate introduced Lindy and I originally. She brought you to one of my client events. And then I learned about this cookware brand that you have with your sister. And I was like, I need to know more. I need to have them on the podcast. It's just so cool. So I'm excited to chat today. But let's start at the beginning. Like, tell me about you two as kids. Were you like always helping your parents set the table or like helping cook? Were you always like really close as kids? Like, what was your childhood like?
Yeah. Definitely. I feel like we were really close growing up, and I've always loved cooking. I'm now a full-time private chef, and so as kids, I would always cook, and Lindy would like film it and would always want me to like post it on social media. So it's funny because like we film content almost every day, and we do that exact same thing now. Like I'm cooking, right. She's filming the content.
We have content of Anna standing on like a kitchen step stool for kids, making pizzas. But we also joke, we had a family friend call my mom one time and was like, Anna's in the produce section by herself with a cart. Like, she's just always loved cooking and gravitated towards it, just like with it.
Yeah, definitely.
But I have always loved setting the table. My mom and grandmas have been amazing at hosting holidays and laying out the linens and the china and just making everything feel like a really special gathering. So I feel like that's where I get that from. And then it's just like the perfect combination.
Lindy
which works
has
out great.
Such a good eye for detail, like making things beautiful. So
I love that. It sounds like you guys had like the perfect relationship growing up. And even like I'm jealous nowadays that you can film content with each other because talking my husband even into filming content is such a struggle. So having someone like built in as a friend, as a business partner, and also can help you capture content is like just goals.
It's so nice.
Yeah, it's
I feel like we
perfect.
really have our system down with the George content. Like when Anna's making
Totally.
whatever recipe that week, I'm like, I don't know. We don't even have to talk really. It's just kind of like, okay, go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yes.
so cool. So I'm curious then, when it came time for college, where did you guys go? What did you study? Did it have to do with, business or Anna, did you go to cooking school? Like, tell me about that journey.
Yeah. Do you want to start with your
Yeah, I guess I
college?
will. So I graduated high school in 2017 and then went to TCU in Fort Worth. We're from the DFW area originally. And so I just always thought it was such a beautiful campus. And then I ended up majoring in advertising and public relations and moved directly to New York City, where I always wanted to be, worked in fashion and jewelry for a little bit. And then as Anna started coming to New York more during her college,
Mhm.
we were like, maybe we should do something in food eventually. So,
Yeah. And
yeah.
so I went to CU Boulder and I majored in business management and entrepreneurship. And then I minored in journalism. And then afterwards, I really wanted to move to London. So I went to culinary school in London for the last year and then just moved to New York in September. And so Lindy and I have been
Mhm.
living together since. And that's kind of when George launched. So
Yeah.
it's been good
Yeah.
timing.
Yeah.
I love that. Wait, also, can you guys tell that I am not the cook in our house? My husband is because I was like, did you go to cooking school, not culinary school? I'm
No, that was
cracking
right
up.
though. Like, I think that
Yeah.
was such a good step
It
for
definitely
you.
was. I feel like people have like a weird thing about culinary school where they're like, it's too expensive, it's not a good investment. But I felt like it was the best investment in my career. And like, I could just move to New York and confidently start private chefing and feel good about all the George content we do because I knew I
Hmm.
had like the best training and I knew all of the best techniques. So,
Yeah. Well, tell me a little bit about that, Anna, because I am curious. I've only had a few, chefs and people with more food related brands on the podcast. So, what is that process like? Like, is it like going to college where you have to apply to a bunch, get accepted? Like, what does that look like? And then, how long do you have to study there? Like, I'd love to hear more about that.
yeah, so I went for 9 months, and like I said, it was in London. So I had decided I wanted to live in London, and I Googled best culinary schools in London,
Okay.
and the one I went to came up. I applied, and it was an easy process. It was literally just like, tell me about yourself, your cooking experience, and that was about it. And then I moved there a few months later. It was 9 months, and it was very in depth on all of the best techniques. We went through cooking, baking techniques. We would do bread, meat cookery. So, yeah, um,
And it
it
was
was
split up
such.
into different, like 3 semesters, right? So if you want to
Yeah.
be just one semester, you could do
So it was
that.
like a foundation term, intermediate term, advanced term, and it
Oh, wow.
continually progressed throughout into more
Okay. That's
advanced
so
techniques.
interesting. That sounds
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and then they helped connect me with my client I started with in the Hamptons last summer.
oh,
So
cool.
I was there for a month. I cooked for the family every day. It was 15 people. Um, and then I posted social media content the whole time of just my experience, everything I was cooking. And through that, I got enough outreach to just start doing it full time in the city after. So,
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. So, Lindy, then tell me about where you two came together at what point to decide to start George Cookware.
I feel like all roads lead back to London in this
I
conversation,
know
but I
I've
was
said it like a million times.
I was visiting Anna in London, and she also lived with my best friend, so we just had a little fun weekend.
Mhm.
And my dad texted me and was like, "I think that you guys should start your own brand." And so we were brainstorming over drinks and all of our
Mhm.
meals, getting kind of excited, like, okay, we could actually do this while you're in school. I
Mhm.
can do things on the side to prepare for this brand. And so I found a graphic designer who's actually one of our good friends, and she did such an amazing job with the branding. So we were working from October 2024 to October 2025 on all things George Cookware.
Yep.
So
I
Wow.
think it was Wendy's like birthday dinner when we were like, we have to just take the opportunity and
yes,
like just go for it. So,
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I think what's great there is that your dad came to you guys and was like, you guys should do something. You should go into business together, start something. Because I feel like a lot of times it's the opposite. It's like the child going to the parent being like, no, like, I think I can do this. I want to try something on my own and like convincing them. And so I think that's great that, you had his support and encouragement from the start.
Totally. And he's
Definitely.
actually our manufacturer in Dallas.
Okay.
So come to find out, the machines that we've heard about our entire lives have the capabilities of making cookware. So that was really perfect that we could design cookware that we wanted. And like we have handles on our products, and a lot of steels don't have those. So just
Mhm.
making them really like our own.
Okay, so then tell me about, your dad says you should go into business together. You guys are in London, you're brainstorming. So how'd you land at, primarily pizza products right now? Like what was that thought process like? And obviously it helped, like you said, your dad being able to manufacture the products, but why'd you land there and how?
I think it was actually our dad who was starting his pizza sourdough era, and he loves cooking. He got inspiration from somewhere, I think from a cookbook, to create these baking steels.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like it originated with his idea, and then we started just like really brainstorming the branding we could do and how we could make it potentially like a homeware brand and other potential product lines. And yeah,
Mm.
I also think after COVID, people got really into making pizzas because you could do them outside. It's something that is more interactive. Like you could do it as a whole family or as a couple, or have couples over for a dinner party. So I think there's something about a pizza being really popular right now. Not that pizza, wasn't popular, but it definitely is popular to make pizza right now. And so I think the timing is really great, and just who doesn't like pizza, right?
Literally, I know. And we've been
definitely.
making the sweet ones too, like s'mores and pizookies. Like there's just so
Yeah.
many
I feel
options.
like we've used the product so much and have found this like balance of where like we really see how it can be an everyday product or how it can be like a hosting, like really fun event, like family night. So yeah, I just see a lot of value in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And now tell me a little bit about the branding. You mentioned that a friend of yours helped with that, and I just think it's so beautiful. Like the blue shades, even the box that the one product comes in kind of looks like a pizza box. So I'd love to hear sort of the inspiration, and I'm sure you guys really enjoyed that process because I know I love branding and all those special details.
Yes, we
Definitely.
basically just started with a Pinterest board that we were pinning so much
Mhm.
to. We really liked a classic look and feel, kind of paired with that like classic pizza restaurant look with
Yeah.
the checkered border. And then our graphic designer came up with this perfect design, and we have our Pantone shades that we use every time.
Mhm.
And yeah, we worked with our packaging vendor to create those boxes. It took some trial and error with even like printing the colors, but
Mhm.
I I love where it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we started with the like box idea and then Mary just ran with like the
Yeah.
checkered and the colors and making it this like kind of classic pizza shop feel, but like bringing in our
Hmm.
Pinterest
Yeah, your
inspiration.
own
Yeah.
aesthetic.
Making it a little bit feminine, because I think sometimes
Mhm.
with steel products, they're a little bit masculine, and like men who just enjoy carving
Yeah.
steel
I think that
and
was like a huge opportunity we saw is just all of the other products kind of in this category were like more masculine and kind of made for men and we wanted to make it this like kind of feminine and like
hosting.
elevated
Yes.
product.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally see that looking at the product. On your website, something that stuck out to me was the generational aspect of it, right? And I love that you are two sisters working together. Your dad has had some influence in it. So, can you talk about, I think there's such an importance in working with family and putting your own spin maybe on a family business. I've interviewed some women on this podcast who, have taken over something that was already started or maybe had a manufacturer in the family and then decided to start something. So I'd love to hear more about that aspect and why you think maybe that works so well.
Mm.
Yeah, I love businesses like that too. And so our brand is named after our great-grandfather and grandfather who were named George, and they started this manufacturing company in Dallas that our dad now owns. So we felt like the name was a good tribute to them, like a little branch of the company almost. But it does work so well working with our dad. He's such a great mentor and has really helped us throughout all of this, just being like, you can think of the big picture with your brand, but like it's going to take time to get there. And he grounds us.
Definitely. I feel like too, we took a little bit of inspiration from our grandfather, George, who like his personality was very just like outgoing and bubbly, and he was kind of like life of the party. So that was like part of
channeling that.
Something we wanted to channel that in the brand.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so special. It like almost gives me chills because part of the reason I started this podcast was I love entrepreneurship, and I think more people should be entrepreneurs, and entrepreneurs should be celebrated. Like, it's so brave to start a business and go out on your own. It takes a lot of courage and grit. And so even with me, I was inspired to start my businesses because my grandfather was an entrepreneur, and then my dad took over his business, and sadly he passed like 2 months ago. But recently I got all of his, like a lot of his old business things, like pencils with his old business logo, or the certificate of like it being an LLC or whatever. And so I think hearing that it's inspired by, your great grandfather and your dad, and there's just so much, I don't know, like warmness with that story. I love it.
Thank you. That's amazing that we have similar stories. I love that.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so I am curious then, like, what do you think is the hardest part about working with each other as sisters? And then what's the best part about working with your sister?
That's a good question. The hardest part might just be keeping it light, keeping it fun, just remembering like, this will all work out in the end, and like this one little stressful situation like it's fine, we can handle it.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think the best part is just that we can like be together laughing, taking content, like it's our vision coming to life. And I feel like we have great taste, so it's exciting to see.
I feel like also too, for a minute when I first moved to New York, it was just like nailing down our routine of like how we're going to run everything, because I private chef full time and Lindy like freelances too. So once we like figured out our content schedule, I feel like that was really helpful.
We really nailed that down recently, so that's been good.
Definitely.
Yeah. I love that. It sounds like you guys are very organized and like yin and yang, like work together very well. So it's super inspiring to watch you two. I'd love for you, Lindy, to touch on, you're so great with entertaining and putting together a great tablescape. So how did that evolve, and how's that part of the business?
Yeah, I feel like it's perfect that we can combine the dinner parties and putting together a gathering with George. And so we recently did a dinner party with a local influencer and Hot Take Dough, another sister-owned company. Anna curated the menu with a few pizzas and some of Hot Take's cookies, and it was just this really beautiful gathering and great content, and I think everyone loved it. So it was just fun to combine everyone's things.
Yeah, no, definitely. I loved looking at those pictures on social media. I think, you guys are really great at marketing. We talked about obviously the branding and the graphic design and the boxes, but something like that, like joining with another sister duo, I think is so smart. And not only does it create connections, but also great content for social media and spreading the word out, right?
Yeah, we had so much fun doing that. One of the sisters is Anna's good friends from college, and so it was cool to see our brands coming together, and it was so much fun.
I mean, it's also just nice to use both of our strengths, because like I can cook, but obviously Lindy has such a good eye for design and creating those tablescapes, and it really does make for such good content. And I feel like we're always considering like how a tablescape and how the menu will look for content, and how that will like market the business, and how that could even like generate sales. So I feel like we're just always considering those things.
Totally.
Definitely. Now, Anna, I am so curious. about you being a private chef. I feel like on social media right now, that content is just so consumable. I love watching Whitney Levitt from Mormon Wives and Chicago and Dancing with the Stars. Like her private chef is always creating content. So I'm curious. Like it sounds like you studied and then you got this opportunity to be a private chef in the Hamptons, and then that kind of grew to you getting more clients. But it sounds like you were smart in using social media with that, right?
Definitely. Like when people ask me how I started, I'm always just like the best advice I can give you is to post on social media. And you don't even have to have a client yet, but I would post like what I make for myself as a private chef on my night off. And
Mhm.
those would get so much traction and I would get so much outreach for clients and was able to fully book my schedule just from that content. So social media is amazing. Like it's the best tool for marketing and yeah, I mean, I know when I first started, people are like, you can go through an agency, but if you're able to market yourself and completely work for yourself, that's like definitely the best way to go.
Totally. With that, were you primarily posting on Instagram or TikTok, or how'd you start that?
Mostly both. I basically cross post
Yeah.
everything across platforms, but I feel like TikTok was really where I had most traction. And
Mhm.
then over the months, my Instagram has grown too. So
Yeah. How many followers do you have on TikTok now?
I have almost 80K
Okay,
on
that's
TikTok
amazing.
and then 32K on Instagram. So
Yeah.
I feel like
yeah,
Instagram's really going to pop off. Like
Instagram
Instagram's,
is the new
Yeah.
platform
yeah,
for
yeah,
sure. So
yeah.
Definitely. It's funny. I was talking with a jewelry designer on the podcast last week, and we were talking. She had mentioned like social media is so good for your business, and I feel like everyone says that, but she's really good at doing a day in the life sort of videos, and those work well with her. So I think it's about like finding your groove in what your followers are reacting to, and it sounds like with you, Anna, people really loved like what you were cooking for your clients or what you're cooking for yourself as a private chef. So I think that's encouraging because we all hear to post on social media, but it sounds like a lot of times like, oh well, what do you post? Or like those heydays of social media and it working are like 5, 10 years ago, but no, it still works today.
definitely. And yeah, it's so true. Just like finding exactly what works for your own page because I follow a lot of people who like defy the like usual strategy. They go against what strategies typically work,
Yes.
but it's so them that like the
Yeah.
content works and it works for them. So
Yeah, no, definitely. I am curious then, Lindy, what is a hosting tip you can share with listeners? Like, what's your go-to hosting or tablescape tip?
That's a great question. I feel like start with a more neutral classic foundation, like have your classic go-to pieces. We have a stainless steel tray that we love, acrylic risers for some levels to elevate physically and figuratively and
Yeah.
literally. But I like starting with all of my classic pieces and then creating the theme, like with the menu cards and the florals, the taper candles, just
Yeah.
really making it super cozy and elevated.
I love that. And I think what's great about you guys is you can do it in a small space, right? Like in New York City, you're not always having these huge dining rooms to work with, even just in your apartment and making it work, making it elevated, like you said, and just those special little details, right?
Definitely.
we honestly prefer small spaces
I was going to say that.
sometimes because like filling up the space is so important and making like a really elevated looking tablescape. And so if you have like a massive table, sometimes it's kind of hard to fill. And then,
I agree.
yeah.
Yeah. Quality
That's
for
such a good
quantity.
point. Yeah. Okay, Anna, what is a go-to recipe you can suggest for people? Like something that's easy, something that's always a hit with people. What would you say?
Ooh, this is a good one. I have such a hard time answering this question because I usually make something different like every night. But actually, recently, my go to has been this honey soy glazed salmon. I've been making it on repeat and it's so good. It's just like honey, garlic, ginger, soy sauce, a little bit of rice vinegar. It's amazing.
Oh
So,
my gosh, that sounds delicious. And then, Lindy, I'm curious, what's your favorite thing that Anna has made?
Oh, there's so many. Well, I always say she did a porterhouse steak and like torched it, and it was just so perfect, like the best steak I've ever
Mm-hmm.
eaten.
Mm-hmm.
That might be my favorite still. Oh, she also made these skirt steak tacos recently, and those are amazing with a little, what was it? The corn on the side.
Yeah, I made like a
Like,
corn feta kind of salad, pickled onions. That's
so
another
good.
go-to.
Hmm.
Like being from Texas too, we
Yeah,
love
a little
Tex-Mex.
Tex-Mex.
So
Yeah. Oh my
That was
gosh.
delicious.
I'm like starving now.
Literally.
bring it anytime.
Now, in terms of entertaining with like a larger amount of people, like any tips around that for, the host, the table setting, and then any tips from you, Anna, in terms of like a great recipe that like is easy to do in a larger quantity where you're not just cooking for like 2 or 4 people.
Yeah.
Mm, you go first.
Okay. As far as recipes, I have like brunch on my mind because we just did a 25-person baby shower brunch. So I want to say a quiche is like a really elevated, like classy brunch recipe that is like a crowd pleaser, will feed a lot of people. Um,
And that you can prep ahead, right? Like it doesn't have to
yes.
be like you making it that morning and pulling it right out of the oven. Like you can make it earlier and then reheat it sometimes.
Yes, I did that this weekend. So I made it the day before and then just reheated it in the oven right before serving. And I feel like that, along with like a really pretty arugula salad, a fruit platter, that's such a good
Yes.
hosting menu.
So good. I was just going to say, when you're prepping, it can be kind of overwhelming, at least for me when I'm looking on Pinterest and making my mood board. But then I'm just like, I have to make my selections and then know exactly what my place settings are going to look like. So I usually have a mood board on my phone that I'm referring to. And I also like to work with Anna on like what food's going to go on this platter and labeling those with a Post-it note, just being really organized and knowing where I'm going to set everything before the event. I think it makes it all really seamless on the day of,
Mm.
just less stressful.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
great idea.
that's another great way we work together because Lindy will choose which foods are going on which platters.
Hmm.
And so then when we're at the event, I'm like, okay, what's going on this? And she
Yeah.
tells me, and then everything just looks so nice on the spread. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
totally.
like photoshopping all of my platters on Canva. Like, okay, the wood is going to go here and then the stainless steel to like make sure it's all spread out and not like one material clumped together. So just visually making it look really nice.
Yes, I love that tip about using Canva. I always am like, oh, for travel, like my outfits or anything, like I'm such a visual person that seeing it and like being able to move things around before it's set and you're in the moment is so nice.
It really does
mhm,
help in the long run, just putting in that extra step. So,
Yeah.
definitely.
Um, there's you can plan for as much as you want, but there's always sometimes where something goes wrong. So I'm curious if either of you have like any like silly or nightmare clients or silly things that happen when you were prepping food or setting a table. Like one time for me, for example, we were having a derby party, and the morning of our hot water heater like gave out like and broke, and so there was water all over the basement, so we had to like clean that up, go get a new hot water heater, like all while having to prep for this derby party as well. So I'm curious if you've had any stories like that and like how you overcame them, or like any tips around those.
Mhm.
oh my gosh.
I feel like, sorry, do you want to
Well, I was
go?
just going to say, as far as George cookware goes, whenever we take our pizza dough out of the fridge, it starts rising. And we, like, 2 weeks in a row, I think, put our pizza dough on like the edge of our counter and it like exploded out of the container and fell on the floor. And we're like, whoa, what is that? And the
Yeah,
pizza dough's just on the floor.
it's like a
Like,
huge
oh, yeah,
boom. So,
don't put it on the edge of the counter. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think we're just like constantly controlling like the temperature of the oven, the temperature of the dough. Like we're always working with that because it does like affect our content and like how it turns out.
Yeah.
So just making sure we're really prepared.
Hmm.
Um, but I was gonna say, as far as like personal chefing, I feel like I'm always having one like little thing per event that just isn't perfect. And I feel like now I'm good at just being like, it is what it is. Like it's food.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everyone's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But like I was doing a dinner party a few weeks ago and I was doing steak frites and I couldn't get the oil to heat up enough. And so the fries like weren't as crispy as I wanted. So just little things like that where I'm like, oh, it wasn't quite perfect, but it's
But-
fries.
Yeah, and probably no one noticed except for you. Like me working in PR and events, I always say like there's always something that's going to go wrong. Like as much as I prep ahead of time, like a package isn't going to arrive in time of something we need, and we're going to have to run to Target or something like that. And so just is all about like rolling with it. And I think that's part of being an entrepreneur too, is being able to make the best of the situation and have a plan B, like and react quickly.
Totally.
Definitely. Yes.
Totally.
So, since this is the Preppy podcast, I always ask everyone, what does Preppy mean to you? So, how would you each describe Preppy?
Ooh. Well, if you asked me when I was 13, it would mean one thing, but um, right now, I feel like preppy is being put together, being poised,
Hmm.
knowing that something might go wrong, but that you'll get through it. I feel like it's kind of a mindset.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Thank
Totally.
you.
I was gonna say something similar. Like to me, it feels very feminine, but just like elevated. I was gonna say poised too.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
just like how you hold yourself, I feel like too.
Yeah. Being a good
Yes.
entertainer.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's great. How you hold yourself and a mindset. Love that answer. Um, Now we're getting into like the spring and summer season. So if you were to throw a pizza party, like walk me through some of the steps or some of the tips that you would share using George cookware, obviously. Like in terms of like what would the theme be, Lindy? Like Anna, like any certain pizza recipes you really like?
Hmm. Well, one theme idea we've had recently is spring solstice, which we were going to do on the actual day, but it was bad weather. I think we would still go with a theme like that though, and have like some really pretty florals, pastel colors,
Hmm.
like an herby pizza.
I feel like this summer we'll definitely do a Nancy Myers kind of
Yeah,
party. So a lot of like hydrangeas and wicker.
I love that. Yeah.
So, and then pizza wise, we've been thinking about flatbreads for months in preparation for summer. I feel like a flatbread is like the best summer hosting kind
Yep.
of like starter appetizer. So a really pretty like arugula burrata, heirloom tomato, or recently we did like a honey feta blackberry flatbread.
Ooh.
So that's like a unique summer
Hmm.
hosting
Yeah, I
idea.
love that. And I feel like you could even pivot from spring solstice and do summer solstice too, right?
That's
Definitely.
true. Yes, we
For
need
Yeah.
to do
sure.
that. Yeah. I'm also really
We're
curious about a peach pizza. Like maybe a peach
Oh,
party would be fun with
Yeah, peach
peach
pizza.
cocktails. Yeah. Yes.
Definitely. A zucchini flatbread, that's very summer.
Yeah. Like some
Um,
unexpected flavors. I want to
definitely.
try this spring and summer.
yeah.
Go to the market, grab our things, come back. Like that just sounds so ideal.
It sounds so good. I love we're like recording this at 11 a.m. and I'm like, I am so ready for lunch and dinner. I'm so hungry
Literally.
now.
Let's go to the
Literally.
market.
I want like a good pizza or flatbread. um, who would be your dream customer if you could have anyone purchase George Cookware, or you guys use George Cookware and host a dinner party, and Anna, you do the cooking for it? Like, who would be your dream to work with? Would you say?
Mm.
I feel like I have to say Ina
I was going
Garten.
to say Ina Garden. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
Ina is so, like, we love Ina because she just feels so down to earth
Mhm.
while being elevated. Like, her
Yeah.
vibe just seems so fun and light and, like,
Yes.
not intimidating.
Right.
So,
Like she's so warm, funny.
mhm.
Yeah.
And,
Yes.
like, queen of effortless hosting ideas. So,
Yeah.
Mhm.
definitely that.
And she's like the queen of the Hamptons too, I feel like, which it sounds
Yeah,
like, you
Literally.
guys are in the Hamptons and have worked there, so she'd be perfect.
We will see
totally.
her.
I know. I hope so. I thought I was going to last summer, but
Every day you went out to the market. You
yeah.
were looking. Yeah.
Any sneak peeks or anything you guys are working on that you can share with listeners?
Yes, we have some products hopefully launching next month, including a pizza cutter, one of the like round ones that you
Yeah.
can,
It rocks,
a
so it's
rocker.
easy to,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay.
So that, and then a metal pizza peel, which can help you rotate your pizza while it's in the oven to get an even cook. And then bread bags, which we're really excited for. They're a
Oh,
Really
linen
pretty.
material with some navy accents. And yeah, we're so excited for
Mhm.
that.
oh, so fun. So will the bread bags be for like gifting once you make sourdough to give it to a friend, or like tell me more about the bread bag?
Kind
Yeah.
of both. So we have some that are meant for gifting for like certain occasions.
Mhm.
And then we have one that's just like our classic linen material that I use when I bake all of my sourdough loaves. So I'll bake a loaf, put it in the bag, and then it just stays fresh for several days.
Yeah.
So
And to have a cute bag sitting on your counter, it's like the perfect gift, an
They're-
everyday product.
definitely. Yeah, they're very high quality too, like such a nice material. So it just looks so pretty to have in your kitchen.
Mhm.
Gosh, I cannot wait. Now, can you use George Cookware with an uni pizza oven too, or just like a traditional oven?
Yeah, you can use it with an uni. You can just set it inside and it'll help you get an even crispier crust. Um, I mean, it's mainly meant to be in your home oven, but we always say you can put it on your grill and it'll help get a nice sear on meats, or in an uni, it can always help with a crispier crust.
Oh, perfect. Good to know. Well, ladies, this was so fun having you on the podcast. Final question is, where can people find you to? Let them know social media handles, websites, all of that so that they can follow along, they can shop and support.
Yeah, our socials are at George Cookware. Website is georgecookware.com. Definitely follow us there. We post so much food content every day. I'm at Lindy Goff, LindiGoff.
And I'm at Anna and the Kitsch on all platforms.
Perfect. Oh my gosh. Well, thank you so much, Lindy and Anna. I thoroughly enjoyed this episode.
Thank you
Thank
so much for
you.
having us. This was so fun.
Thank you so much for listening to the Preppy Podcast. I hope this put a little prep in your step for the day. Please subscribe, rate, and review on wherever you listen to your podcast, and follow along with @the Preppy Podcast on social media.